Warning. The following information is classified. Sector A clearance is required to view this tape. Refusal to comply with these rules will result in removal from the course. The following is an introductory lesson for new recruits in the United States Department of Atrocities. In this lesson we will review real-world incidents and their effects on the human psyche and physical body. Those who have not yet been physically and mentally trained to experience the phenomenon of the atrocity, also known as Husked Stage, should immediately stop watching and return to the Sector A training course. In 1964, historian and college professor Quentin Sanders was invited to teach at the Foxwood University in Foxwood, Massachusetts, by its dean Mr. Harold Rothman. Upon his arrival to Foxwood, Sanders kept an audio journal to record his experience at the university. It was recorded on cassette tape, a newly invented piece of convenient portable technology. Despite the initial use of the audio journal to be solely for his teaching purposes, Sanders began using it to document strange happenings on the campus grounds. On Sanders' person was a personal camera which he used to document further oddities. The photographs will be shown in accordance with the audio logs. The following is the only surviving evidence of the 1964 Foxwood Incident.
The date is October 18th, 1964. My name is Professor Quentin Sanders, and this is my first week teaching in Foxwood. It's my first time in the United States, even. I'm a historian and professor, and I've recently gathered a liking for linguistics. I wanted to record these tapes as a means to help me get my bearings, if that makes any sense. I've always suffered from anxiety, and being in this new environment has taken its toll on me. I don't really know anybody, and as crazy as it sounds, recording these tapes help keep me company in a way. A little backstory, of course. Like I said, this is my first week at Foxwood University. Foxwood it's a rather strange place, to say the least. It's a small town in the backwoods of Massachusetts. It's so easy to miss on the main road. Despite it being somewhat a sizable town, it's not on many maps. The dean of the college, Mr. Harold Rothman, was kind enough to ask me to visit the university and teach here, as he shows a great interest in my research. I guess you could say the main reason why Rothman wanted me to come down here was because he wanted me to decipher this book that was recently excavated in England. Some of the archaeologists that dug it up said it was this ancient medieval manuscript written in Latin. I know they say Latin is a dead language, but I have no reason why they would need a linguist from Nova Scotia to come down and translate it. Maybe it's because I was close by. Maybe it's because they knew that they could hire me for cheap. Who knows? What I do know, though, is that I'll be formally meeting Mr. Rothman later tonight. We've only ever spoken through letters or telephone calls, but his secretary, Dorothy, Miss Conroy, scheduled an appointment for us to meet. The book is said to arrive here as early as this weekend, so Mr. Rothman will, help me get up to speed, but until then, I will start my classes by tomorrow. Hopefully all goes well. The date is October 19th, 1964. Crisp autumn breezes in the air, and the leaves are starting to turn colors. It's not too bad in these neck of the woods. Mr. Rothman and I met last night. He's an interesting man, to say the least. While I do appreciate this job he's given me, I can't help but feel like he's viewing the excavated book as a potential business opportunity rather than a learning opportunity. He kept going on about selling it to a museum, quote-unquote, only if it's worth anything once I had translated it. Perhaps I could persuade him otherwise if it ends up being of any true value. But other than that, not much else has happened. My first class went good, had a decent amount of students, and despite all this, even the, enjoyable autumn weather, Foxwood is it's a different place. The thick woods, the fog every night, the dreaded silence outdoors, it's enough to make a grown man's skin crawl. I can't help but feel like, it's gonna sound ridiculous, like I'm being watched. I guess I'm just a little jumpy due to these nightmares I've been having. October 20th. The book arrived today. I have it in my hands as I speak. It's not quite what I expected. It's a lot smaller than most medieval manuscripts. This is the size of a small journal. No backstory was given to me about this book other than where they had found it, and that it's written in Latin. I'll give it to the lab tomorrow so we can get an approximate date on it, but tonight I'll look through it, try to translate it. How strange. I've been translating it for the past half hour. This compendium catalogs and classifies creatures unlike anything I've ever seen before. For its time period, this is blasphemous beyond belief. It says here these creatures it depicts are not of God's creation, that they are from the stars, capable of jumping to and from higher dimensions, incomprehensible to the human mind. From what I've gathered, this manuscript was handwritten by a Dominican monk named Benedict, sometime in the mid-13th century. If my translations are correct, Benedict titled it the Atrocities Compendium. It essentially serves as, I guess, an encyclopedia for these creatures that he calls atrocities. Some of these drawings, though, they send shivers down my spine. October 21st. This morning I showed my findings and early translations to Rothman. He thinks it's some queer medieval art project. The man told me to throw it in the bin. The absolute cheek. The results from the lab came back affirmative. It's an authentic book. We're trying to find any records of this author, Benedict, in history books or files that we have on hand. The whole thing perplexes me. The drawings, the uneasiness I get while turning each page, it's made me morbidly curious. I guess it begins to consume you after a while. I've been studying this thing for hours on end. It's a thick little book. Each atrocity has so much depth to it. Surely Benedict couldn't have been mad. The precision and delicate care it took to create such a book. It couldn't have been done by a raving madman, surely. Especially in those times. Is there any truth to all this? What if Benedict could see something that we couldn't? I'm tired. I can see the sun coming up on the horizon just now. I've done nothing but read this damn thing all night. If only I... What the hell is that? Hey, it's gone. I took a picture, but... No, it was probably nothing. I just need some sleep. Yeah. Sleep sounds good right about now.
For those studying the introductory lesson to the phenomenon of the atrocity, please note, this is the beginning process of what is called the Husked Stage. Those who view an atrocity that is of hostile nature, whether in the flesh, by photograph, or by ink, will initiate the husk process. The bodies of those who are in the husked stage will deteriorate. For example, those who are husked will begin to lose their hair, eyesight will fail, the stomach will eat itself from within. The husked stage has a 100% mortality rate. Late-stage mental symptoms include sudden bipolar disorder, early onset dementia, insanity, and increased aggression.
October 25th. My apologies for not speaking for a few days. I've been busy with my classes and, more importantly, translating the rest of the compendium. If I may be frank, from a completely unbiased intellectual point of view, I seem to have grown an unhealthy obsession with the book. So much so that it's gonna sound crazy, but I've begun to see things outside, in the forest. Tiny creatures here and there that peek behind my shoulder when I'm looking in the mirror. And the nightmares. God, the nightmares. I've always suffered from anxiety, awkwardness with other people, but I'm afraid this has nothing to do with that. This is paranoia. I'm hallucinating, seeing these atrocities in plain sight. I've never seen them before I read the compendium, but why am I now? It's because I've been reading too much into it. Like I said, I think it's an obsession. But there was this thing that I saw in the forest. I've taken photos, but I won't know if what I saw was true or not until I get them developed. I hope I can finish this book soon, so I can put all of this behind me. October 27th. Today I reveal my complete findings to Rothman. The compendium has left me feeling rather empty. All I feel is apathy. Maybe once Rothman sees the truth behind the compendium, he will take it more seriously. But in other news, my photos came back, developed and all. Let's give them a look. Oh my God. No. Strange. Wasn't expecting anybody.
Hello, Mr. Sanders.
Dorothy? I mean, Miss Conroy. I wasn't expecting you.
I just came to warn you. Mr. Rothman isn't acting himself today. Understand he's coming over here later. Try not to take his temper personally. He gets like this sometimes. He always tells me it's the price of being a good businessman.
Is Sanders in? I must speak with him.
I best get going.
Mr. Rothman, I thought you were coming by later. I was going to bring my findings to your office so you wouldn't have to come...
Are your translations complete?
Yes, right this way, sir. Excuse the mess, sir. I really wasn't expecting you to come by. Before we start, though, I need to warn you. This book, there are drawings and passages in it that some would consider unholy.
What are you talking about, Quentin?
I know you've seen bits and pieces of the compendium before. You thought it was some medieval art project. You didn't even think it was real, but it is, sir. The results from the lab came back. It's all authentic. The book is essentially a database for these higher beings that this Dominican monk named Benedict titled Atrocities. I got some results back on him this morning. Benedict was indeed a real monk. He was excommunicated by the church in 1262. I'm assuming for writing the compendium, it's extremely blasphemous. But that's all I could find on him, though. All other documentation of his existence have been defaced, vandalized. After careful consideration, I believe that these creatures that he wrote about, that he documented, are real. They live among us.
Jesus, Quentin, listen to yourself. These are fairy tale creatures. A child could imagine these.
I just had this photograph developed today. Does this look like it came out of a child's mind?
It's a picture of a forest. Are you feeling okay, Quentin? Do you need me to call in a doctor from the medical ward?
Sir, please, read the compendium. Look for yourself. This creature I saw in the woods, in this photograph, is the same creature on this page right here.
Quentin, there's nothing. Now that's strange. That wasn't in the photograph a moment ago. What unfathomable abomination is this?
According to the compendium, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, it's called Corrempens Mentum, or rather, the Mind Corruptor. Come here. Read more.
My God, this is sick.
Now do you believe me?
Well, if this is real, then we need to get it off campus. This will scare away the students and tourists.
How do you suppose we do that? It roams the campus grounds late at night. I've seen it. It's unpredictable.
Then we'll have to wait for it. Observe it. Quentin, what are you doing with that? Leave it inside. You're carrying more than you can carry.
We need to record these events, sir. If we're correct, these are otherworldly beings. This will change the foundation of our knowledge, our history.
Quiet.
That's it. Right there.
We need to contain it somehow.
The date is October 27th, 10:30 p.m. Mr. Rothman and I are both looking at the Mind Corruptor. It's in the distance, roaming the forest with no sense of direction. Look, sir. It's the same atrocity as shown here in the compendium, down to the smallest detail.
It's coming our way! Run!
Shit! I dropped the compendium.
I told you to leave all that in my office!
Wait! It's slowing down. It sensed the book, not us.
Don't let it get near the book! You know how much that damn thing is worth? Hey! Hey!
Mr. Rothman! Be quiet!
Let it chase me! Get the book, Quentin! And put that stupid tape recorder down!
I got it.
There's a security outpost further into these woods. I know a room we can lure it into.
Jesus. I didn't think we'd be able to do it. We trapped it, but now what?
That took a lot out of me. Give me a second. Let's refer back to the compendium. Does it tell us how to get rid of these things?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I didn't see anything like that when I was translating it. But look at it, sir. The Mind Corruptor is just floating, staring at us with all of its faces. All of its mouths are smiling at us. It's like it knows something we don't.
Perhaps we can communicate with it. If these are higher beings, like your note said, then it has to be able to communicate.
I don't think that would be the smartest idea, Rothman.
Perhaps we can bargain with it. What's your purpose, creature? What do you want? Do you know how much I sacrificed for this university to run? I won't let the likes of you tear it down.
Mr. Rothman, please, don't aggravate it.
You've got more than enough mouths. Speak! Damn you!
All right, look. It's trapped in here. We should go. Come back in the morning with a better plan. I don't feel safe in this place with it just staring at us. We'll leave my recording equipment around it. Detect if it says anything overnight, or if it moves, we'll be able to pick it up. I'll take pictures too. Like I said, we need to document this as much as we can. Rothman, are you listening? Stop looking at it.
be here at the crack of dawn. I'll excuse your classes. Let's get out of here. I heard you call to me, but you didn't speak. It's okay. Quentin is gone now.
Harold Rothman,
You know me?
you have heard our call.
What are you doing here? What's your purpose?
We have broken free from the abyss, scattered across the droplets of your cosmic infinitium. We are here to fulfill and help you prosper. You have spent your entire life searching for the goal. That goal is wealth, power. We can bestow you with such gifts.
How?
Release us and we shall show you.
You'll give me power?
Your hard work will never go unnoticed. Foxwood University will be known by every person in every country. A staple for the American dream. Your name will be synonymous with wealth. You will be known and adored by the masses.
How do I know you'll keep your word?
Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. Open the...
It's currently October 28th, around 6:30 a.m. I'm not sure what happened. I came back this morning and the mind corruptor, it's gone. I haven't been able to locate Rothman anywhere on campus either. The only other person who would know about his whereabouts would be Dorothy. I'm gonna go meet her now. Hi, Dorothy. I'm sorry, Miss Conroy. Have you seen Mr. Rothman at all today?
Why do you keep doing that?
Doing what? I'm not doing anything.
You stutter every time you begin a conversation with me. It's perfectly legal to call me by my first name, Mr. Sanders.
Well then, it's perfectly legal to call me by my first name, Dorothy. But back to Rothman. It's important to tell me.
I haven't seen him. Has something happened to him?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. He's not in his office nor his study. I fear something terrible has happened. Dorothy, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but there's something I need to show you. You're the only other person I trust regarding this.
Why have you brought your tape recorder?
I'm going to show you everything that we've discovered. The photographs, the tape recordings, the compendium, everything.
Oh my God.
Whatever that thing was, it took Rothman. He's still out there, though, somewhere on campus. I can feel it.
Those pictures, they made me feel sick.
You feel it, too?
How the hell do we stop it?
It seems attracted to the book, the compendium. Maybe we can lure it again. But now that it has Rothman, there's no telling what it can do.
Quentin? Quentin? Your nose is bleeding.
The day is... doesn't matter anymore. Something isn't right with me. I've had this persistent cough for days now, but that's not the only thing. Nosebleeds. My hair's been falling out, and now I can add loose teeth to the list. Something similar has been happening to Dorothy. It's like we're sick. It didn't happen until we both looked at the contents of the compendium. That damn compendium. And that picture I took of the mind corruptor. Dorothy and I have evacuated the school grounds. We made up some story about a gas leak. It'll take the authorities a few days to get down here to assess the situation, but that gives us more than enough time to investigate. Gas leak. A lot more believable than that horrific abomination that's roaming the campus. This needs to end now, though. This may be my last personal entry. I never thought of feel like to face death itself, but I'm feeling it now. It scares me, though. At least I know I'm not alone, though. Dorothy is with me. She's been so supportive through all of this, and I wonder what it could have been like if the situations were different. But I guess we'll never know now. The date is October 31st. It's been a couple days since we evacuated the campus. No signs of the authorities yet, but no sign of the mind corruptor either.
Where could it be?
Somewhere out there, in the shadows. We need to wait for it. Lure it with the book. It's near.
You have one receipt, Quentin Sanders.
Was that it speaking?
I have a feeling you may be right.
Hand over the compendium.
Dorothy, get behind me. I think it's coming into the room.
What have you done to Mr. Rothman? Answer me!
He offered himself to us. He is one with the corrupted.
Rothman, it's been consumed into its body. Oh my God.
He wanted power. He has received it. We can give you the same power, Quentin Sanders. Hand over the compendium.
Don't listen to it, Quentin.
You both grow weak and tired. In days you will be dead, withered. We can extend the gift of life indefinitely. We will give you everlasting peace.
You're lying. Get away from us.
Give us the compendium. Give us the compendium. Give us the compendium.
Seems like the compendium is a sort of power source for it. We should destroy it.
Dorothy, there's no telling what that'll do.
It's worth a shot. It's not entirely wrong. We are dying. I can feel it, Quentin. We might as well make the most of our final moments and put this to an end before it hurts anybody else.
Dorothy, watch out! Dorothy! No. Come on, wake up. Wake up!
You feel it now. Not you, Quentin. The blood races in your veins. Death is approaching. You have no choice but to join Rothman and Dorothy in everlasting peace.
Stay back, damn you. Stay back!
The compendium is ours now.
What are you gonna do with it?
We will release more of our brothers and sisters from the abyss. Nothing can stop us now. It would be advised to persist.
I'd rather let this place burn to the ground. To hell with you.
You know why we've brought you out here today. We wanted to ask you a few questions regarding the Foxwood Incident, October 31st, 1964. Your crew were the first to arrive on university grounds that night. What did you see?
Oh, I've already told the authorities what we saw. I don't want to relive those memories again.
Sir, we're going to need you to cooperate. You told the authorities that you found something down here. The Department of Atrocities needs further clarification on what you saw.
Answer the question.
My mom and I descended into the debris of the university that night, not expecting what to find. Luckily, the campus had been evacuated a few days prior, but I'll never forget what we saw down there. In the basement level, a lifeless clump of flesh with faces carved into its surface. It looked like it had scurried itself into the corner of the room to die. One of my men took a photograph.
This concludes the Department of Atrocities presentation on the phenomenon of the Husked Stage. We hope you learned valuable information during this course and that you'll be able to apply this knowledge out in the field should the situation arise. Please return this tape to the course instructor so that they can burn it. And always remember, the Department of Atrocities secures a safer tomorrow.